And we're back. Okay. So how's everybody doing? How's everyone's week?
Good.
Any new exciting games happening this week?
Well, one thing that happened is that I've been playing in a reskin of Blades in the Dark for Star Wars that someone else is running. And I got into the group. And my buddy Kai and I really like our characters, so we just like are doing a play-by-pose kind of in between from the last session. It's been fun. It's amusing.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's funny. I've been looking at running some Blades in the Dark, but I want to go to Aruvia instead of Duskfall.
Ruvia's pretty cool.
Yeah, I want to do that. I saw the playbooks for that, and that just grabbed me. So
there's a Roll20 set up for Aruvia as well. It's really nice.
Nice. I have to check it. I have to take a look at that. I'm in a Rebel Crown game, and so we've been off for a little bit. Everyone, real life work and that kind of stuff, but we resumed that game Tuesday, and I'm playing the Revengeant, and these last two, we've got maybe 2 or 3 more sessions, and it's like it's my spotlight time now, and because we're back in my homeland, and that king there kind of wiped out my family, and that's why I want revenge. And so now I'm getting all the revenge I could have. My plate is full of revenge, and so I get to act out, and it's been fun. So Rebel Crown's a cool little game. I wasn't. I was meh about it at the beginning, but as I read through it and I got to play it, I'm playing. I'm not running it. I like it. It's got some really good drama, and the mechanics push it, so I like it. It's been fun. But that's it for me this week. So, and this game, since we're doing this weekly now. All right, I'm bringing up my map. I thought we were going to spend the whole session on this journey, but I think so. The next 3 hexes here, right to left, is what's left of the Wither Hills. The next 2 are Bree.
Nice.
GM to players, this first hex has the Forsaken Inn in it, right? The next hex is Bree, right? So you could end the journey here, right? But the Forsaken Inn is kind of a roughneck kind of trappers, and it's like a truck stop, right? Not that there's anything wrong with truck stops, right? That's kind of, some of them could be kind of rough, right? Or we can move on, go to Bree, and then we can stop at the Prancing Pony, right? And then, nerd out. So let's do that. We've got a marching roll coming up.
Yep.
I think with this burial, let me finish here. Perry and Ronell, they are polite, civil about questions, right? They realize something is happening, but they don't poke and prod, right? And whatever you give them, they accept and they don't push. So they realize they're in the moment, but they're not exactly sure what's going on, what's happening. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I guess I'm thinking because, like, Farron's instinct, like, I would almost, like, look more to, like, Daphne as far as, like, do we tell him? Because this is another person from Bree. They might know him. Like, I don't know if we want to keep him in the. Yeah, so I feel like Farron wouldn't necessarily. I wouldn't know how to handle this, but I think that feels like a Daphne sort of. And they're human, So I don't know what humans care.
I knew you meant. Who knows what they care about?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like Daphne would tell them, but might wait until we're a little bit closer to Bree, so it's not depressing on the orc parties. Have like identifying characteristics like on the arrows that we might be able to identify in the future, like it was this particular party of orcs by their weaponry.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah,
Gotcha.
like maybe they're from some specific tribe or something. That's a
Yeah.
good.
Right.
Yeah. And you saw, and Farron shared the first orc sighting, yes?
Yes, I did with
All right, perfect.
with Daphne and Nindor. Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Rich is gone, but he's here. There he is.
Sorry, got a quick
no, sorry.
interruption. I apologize.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. I thought it was something on my end because I'm the one with the tech glitches. So, yes, I think that's a riddle test.
Interesting.
Does Daphne have to do it?
No, so Burning Wheel, yes, Daphne has to do it. But in the One Ring, it specifically says the character who's most suited, right?
Great.
Yeah, I'm happy because like if Daphne brings it up, like I'm happy to sort of.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it didn't really dawn on me, and that's a great idea. So
I feel like
Right.
the way Daphne brings it up is like in the, oh shoot, if only there were some way someone could do this, but I don't know. Too bad.
Too bad.
nice. Okay, so and Daphne has no riddle, right?
No riddle.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know what else we got to help you.
Just for, I don't know if did Nindor pick up a dot of riddle? I don't know if you'd want to help. I don't know if we care.
I'm happy to help
because that costs hope to have to do it. So I don't know if it's worth it.
I mean,
I've got 2 in riddle, so I'm not planning to spend hope. So
And remember, we've got fellowship hope, right? Because we're in a new
That's true,
adventure
we do.
phase.
right.
yeah,
I say fellowship hope.
Yeah, and then what do? We chose some benefits from
So we have-
strengthening the fellowship.
yeah. So we have 5 fellowship points instead of 4.
There we go.
Yeah.
So there you are.
So did Nindor want to help or?
You're muted, Nindor.
I thought we were talking about fellowship hope. Is that a no?
No, I was just double checking. That's what you wanted to do is spend one of those to help. Well, I guess it's the same either way. Like whether.
Well, one
It's
puts me closer to being miserable and the other doesn't. So
Well,
there is a difference.
No, meaning I can use it myself and give myself a die 6, or you can spend it to help and give me a die 6.
Right.
Either way.
Right.
But I like the idea of using a fellowship point to help. So
And I'd like Nindor to assist a bit. He only has a 1 in riddle, but
yeah, that's
it's
fine.
got a different viewpoint.
Oh, and then how does? Oh, okay. So you're not my focus, so it doesn't inspire me. So it's just 1 point. Okay, that's still a die 6. That's still pretty good. Okay. So let's see what we get. Hey, there we go.
Look at that. Nice.
Nailed it.
All right. I have to get off camera for about 2 minutes. I'll be right back. I got a dog thing happening.
Uh-oh.
So I'll be right back.
Gotta take care of those puppies.
Yes.
Well,
The joys of puppy ownership.
Kind of like pony ownership.
I mean, they're mastiffs, so yes, it is like pony ownership.
Legitimately.
Jersey is huge. And she got another one.
I am the scout, and what does the scout do? I haven't done anything during this entire journey.
I mean, that's just luck of the draw.
It just says in charge of setting up camp, opening new trails.
I thought you were the lookout.
Oh, you're right. Lookout, in charge of keeping watch.
Yeah. Because
Isn't it-
the
Just
Whatever
lighted
role-
that.
The role determines the role with an E.
yeah, well, yeah, because there's kind of two roles that happen with the events. There's a role to determine who the event is targeting, and in this case, the lookout just hasn't come up.
Okay.
I mean, it still could. We've got a few more hexes to go. I do kind of like how that works. Is that you never know, because I think the idea is sort of like narratively we're all sort of doing our job day to day, but then every so often something significant happens that somebody has to deal with, which is kind of cool.
All right. I'm back. Dog issue settled. Most of the time they're fine. Sometimes my bigger dog, who's 10 times the size of the smaller dog, and the smaller dog is 13 pounds. So, yeah, she wants it's nap time, and she doesn't want to be messed with. And so that's what's happening out there. So I think when you stop to look, right, the orc arrows, right, have they're handmade, right?
Sure.
And I think there are signature markings there, right, that are exactly like the ones you saw at before the last bridge, right, in the troll shawls, right,
Mhm.
which are exactly like the ones you saw back at that troll orc massacre that you guys
Right.
orchestrated, right?
Mhm.
So there you are. That was a good call, Daphne.
Oh,
Now you
so
know
those-
something.
So those, I guess I don't know how far a single riddle goes. This is just my player brain going off.
Mhm.
I'm guessing the buddies of those dudes that we, helped deal with came and found the remains, and maybe they're hunting, like following the trail of and it's not us, they're following the trail of the other humans that fled. In
Right.
my head, that's what's happening. Like
Yes.
they picked up a trail from that camp and they're tracking
Right.
the debris is what
Yes.
I think is happening.
That's perfect. Yeah.
That's
Because there's, yeah, like I said, there's just by the fletchings on the arrows, right?
Mhm.
You've got 3 instances all the way back to the tomb, the barrow tomb, where the orcs were, right?
Yeah.
So yes, that's what that looks like.
Okay. Cool.
Dun dun dun. So let's wrap up this journey. We're in for another travel roll or marching roll.
Yep.
We're moving through Weathertop, and again, the terrain here is hard, and the only that counts if we're trying to figure out how many days this whole thing took. You add an
sure.
extra day, right, for
Yeah.
hard terrain.
I will check off Daphne's pony, whose name I definitely don't know.
Nibble.
Nibbles. That was me, the player, just straight up forgetting. I couldn't remember.
And Nibbles is a horse. I don't know if there's a differentiation
Oh,
between pony
so
and
Nib-
horse.
There is. That means I
Yeah.
can use him more than once.
Yeah.
Only if you ask nicely.
Well, since I'm the guide, I can just. I will ask nicely. It also might affect how many bonus dice I get. Horse. So. Oh no! It's it's the quality. Okay, so it's the same as I have, but yours is horse, but it's the same because your Daphne is also prosperous, right?
Mhm.
Yes.
Okay, so it's mechanically the same. Okay, cool. So I get 2 dice,
Mm-hmm.
and it's favored. And that's so many dice. I love it. I got 1. Oh man. Okay, so take off. Okay, so I still hit it, luckily, with all those dice. And I got a 6. So that's 4 hexes.
Ooh,
Before
that gets
the-
us in the Bree. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that gets us through the Weathertop Hills or Weather Hills, and right into Bree.
And that's
for
where
our next event. Yeah, the Forsaken Inn.
So we'll have to deal with make that decision after we deal with this event.
Right. If you're going to end the journey here by staying at
Sure.
the Forsaken Inn, or we do that next hex into Bree. So this is a scouting event. No, this is a lookout event. I'm sorry.
Hey,
Oh my goodness!
Gregor
Yeah,
gets to do something.
I was just
Yes.
talking during our brief break there that I had not been looking out, so I'm excited to look out. I will fail, so go ahead and give me the roll so I can fail it.
Look at that.
So we're back in Borderlands. So it's a favored roll for the event.
Ooh, nice.
So it's 2d12, take the best, and I'll tell you what the event is.
And by the best, meaning the highest?
Yeah.
Yes, the highest. Because there is one good thing.
Hey.
Oh,
Got a 12.
did you really?
Got
That's
that
funny. I was about to
I
say
did.
there's one good thing on this chart of bad things, and you just hit it then.
The chance meeting is pretty good too, actually.
Oh yeah. No, you're right. There it is. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
There's two. A joyful sight.
Nice.
But the scout has to succeed, and everyone in the company regains 1 hope.
We
I'm
still take
sorry.
1 fatigue, right?
Yes, it's still 1 fatigue for everybody. Yes.
Okay.
I have to succeed at what?
Awareness or scan.
Awareness is a favored roll for me,
There you go.
so I will choose that.
So what's
But
the situation?
Yeah, I think it's coming up out of the Weather Hills, right? Maybe you're coming up out of a valley, right? You can see the edges of the borders of Bree, right? Maybe they're in the distance on the horizon, or just before the horizon. You can see signs of farming, right? Maybe there are different villages, that kind of thing. You can see that stuff happening. You're not far. You know, by the end of the night, you'll be camping, staying somewhere in Bree. You're out of the Weathertop Hills. But you also know, right? This is, trapper hunter area. The Forsaken Inn isn't. It's an inn, but it's rough. It's a rough place. So you're not out of the woods. There still could be brigands, highwaymen, that kind of thing. So the lookout is doing his thing.
Okay, this, and I'm sorry I ask this every time, but it's favored, which means if I spend a hope, I get 2d6.
Favored makes it 2d12, take the best.
And I don't have to spend, it just is?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good. Okay, well, friends, here we go. I'll take the 8, and that is a hate 9, 14, and my target was a 15.
No! No!
Well, at least
Told you I'd
nothing
fail.
bad happens.
No! So I think at home, the audience, if we're watching, the Shadows over Rivendell TV show, I think we see the company come up, the fellowship come up out of this valley from the Weather Hills. And then we can see in the distance the outline and the sketches of Bree, right, as you're making your way that way. Maybe the camera zooms past the Forsaken Inn. You can see the rough kind of folks there. And then it pans out so we can see you coming up out of the valley. And then I think across the top of the sky, we see maybe 2 or 3 great eagles fly by, right? And you guys totally missed that. You don't see that at all, right?
Hey, we're way more concerned about the terrestrial dangers. We know the sports about. So why would we be looking up in the sky? I mean, you know.
No, that's fair. No, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. But we at
We're
home,
going to start flying.
we got to see the joyful sight.
I think Daphne is looking up and still does not see the eagles.
Oh man. So I could have put that in my pocket and saved it for another time, but I'm like, man, I just pulled that out of my pocket. And great eagles, that's a joyful sight, right?
It would have been, yeah.
Yep. Thanks for telling us about the stuff we didn't see. That's good. Glad that didn't stay in your pocket so that you could rub it in. Thanks.
Well, that makes me work for next time, right? I can't use the same thing twice. I gotta have something different for next time.
Keep things
You
fresh.
can't bear it every time.
Right. So what's the plan from here, right? Do we end the journey here?
So I guess I would want to do like I'd want to take stock of like where everybody, because if fatigue's adding to load and that starts to, if that
Right.
ever equals your endurance, then that's bad.
Right.
So I know I'm okay. I'm still a good ways away from my endurance.
So I feel like I might have missed a fatigue or at some. I have 9 right now. Is that accurate?
I'm at 9. Yeah, we should be
Okay.
at 9.
Good. I didn't miss, but I am 1 away from hitting my endurance. So maybe a truck stop motel is okay.
And I'm happy to put it to a vote. Like I can certainly keep going. But, we don't have to push it if we don't want to.
Yeah, because then, right, we become weary, right?
Yeah, weary is pretty rough.
I don't want to put Daphne under any stress. I thought our endurance was like in the 25s or so.
Right, but add your fatigue to whatever your load is.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah,
Does it make sense?
so
Yeah.
the weapons and armor and stuff add up pretty quick. Unless you're a dwarf. I think it's the more interesting option, I guess. To maybe get some rest here before we finish our journey, and who knows what kind of shenanigans might happen at a shady inn.
Nice. So this would end the journey. It's not a big deal to roll into Bree from here. It doesn't become a separate journey, right?
Oh, okay.
Because it would be a journey of 1 hex, right?
Yeah, not all that interesting.
Right. And
so we're basically like a few. We're like on the very outskirts of Bree,
right,
more or less. And we're
right.
That makes sense.
I should have cut that out and made an image of that. My image foo will get better. So the Forsaken Inn, as I mentioned, it's a ill-favored, unfriendly place along the road. It is the last safe house west of the mountains for most travelers. Most of the customers are hunters and trappers from the surrounding lone lands who also mistrust strangers. It's a ramshackle, half-ruined, in poor repair. The beer is stale, but the food is fine. Not great, but it's fine. It is a place to rest on the road. You travelers are charged exorbitant prices for room and board. And the innkeeper is Jack the Forsaken.
Jack the Forsaken. Let's not
Yeah.
plan this at all.
That's not on me. Well, it's the fall, so he's only got one room. He's pretty full up with trappers and hunters. I think most of them are cagey. They're giving you the eye once over your whole party, right? Because you're not Bree, right? And you're not from the Lowlands, and you don't look like trappers and hunters. But no one gives you any hassle or anything like that.
We got 2 Bree folk with us.
Yeah, and I think if there's a conversation, like Perry's like, "Ooh, we're not staying here, are we? Right? Bree's not that, right? We could. The Prancing Pony is. Can we just camp out? Right? So he's got reservations, but he's not. I mean, if this is where it is, this is where it is, right?
Yeah.
So he's not putting up a fight, right? It's more words than anything else. Well, in fact, I'm glad you brought him up. He says, I've heard that Jack the Forsaken, he's only the owner because the previous owner, they ran out when he was a guest. So he kind of inherited the place, right? And she was a widow because some noble person died in here, right? And she ran off, leaving Jack a guest, the last person in the place. So why would you want to stay here? But he and Brunel are both tired, right?
We're on the road for, I don't know, a week or however long we've been.
So I think he's more complaining than making a hard stand about it.
Sure.
If we're calling the journey, we will total up our fatigue. I think there's a way to get rid of some of it, and then the rest of it goes away with every regular night's off the road kind of rest.
It goes away pretty slowly.
Yeah. There it is. Getting rid of fatigue. Oh, no. It's up here. Yeah, so you make a travel roll, and a success reduces the total fatigue by 1 plus 1 point for every success after that. And so we can do that now because we're going to stay here at the Forsaken Inn. I don't think we've got 2 people who have means, so you can have the last room. But Jack's only got 1 room left, so you'll have to share it.
Are these individual travel rolls or one for the party?
Individual
we each make
rolls?
one, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Did not go well.
Travel's rough.
Yeah,
But
just bone weary.
Yeah. As you make your way around the Forsaken Inn, settle in your rooms, get your mounts settled in the stable. They have room for your mounts, for your horses and your ponies. I think it's in the stable. Whoever is handling the horses and the ponies, you see Don in there.
How's the estate sale business coming along?
And I think he's kind of surprised, right, to see you, right? There's a happy expression on his face, right? But then he kind of stuffs that down, like, I'm too cool to be excited about,